Welcome to the Mother of Eden podcast. I'm your host, Anat, and today I have Carole and Bryan of Pure Eating Way in Indianapolis, Indiana. Actually, it's a suburb. I know that. But anyway, yes. They are, first, let me take care of some stuff. We have our second cruise coming up, the Mo plant-based cruise coming up on June 24th. It's going to be in Dayton, Kentucky. It's very close to the Newport Levee. I've been saying the Newport Levee, and it's really not the Newport Levee. It's down the street. But anyway, from 7 to 10, we're going to have a link in the bio, and the link is going to be in the description as well. If you have not subscribed already, or if you have not followed us, if you're on Facebook, please follow us now so that you can always stay up to date with what we're doing. All right, so this is Carole and Bryan of Pure Eating Way. They are the winners. They won Best Vegan Cuisine in the Vegan Foodie Choice Awards last year. We're going to be bringing that back too. So we'll talk more about everything. Welcome, guys. So good.
It's great to be here. Great to see you, lady.
We missed you. We always have so much fun.
Yes, we.
I always have to hold back, on some of these interviews because we have such a great time, and when you have great chemistry with people, it's just kind of hard to just be like, hey, what's going on?
Like family, right.
Yeah. So yeah, and so you guys, I know a lot, but your viewers do not, or the viewers do not. So. Are you guys originally from Indianapolis?
Yes, ma'am. Born and raised in the streets of Brooklyn. No, we're from Indianapolis. She's actually Carole is from a little town up north, beautiful town up north, and myself, I was born and raised here in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay, where are you from, Carole?
I am from Rochester, Indiana.
Rochester.
Yeah, it's like a town of like 5,000 people. It's a little tiny farm community. Oh. And I left when I was 18, could not wait to get out of the little teeny tiny town.
So how close is that to Chicago?
It's probably about 2.5 hours from Chicago. Not far.
Not far at all. It sounds like it's a different direction from where you are now, because it's about 2.5 hours from Chicago where you guys are now, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah, not far. We used to go up there as kids, go to the museums and stuff. My parents, it was closer, better, like more stuff up there, and a little bit closer than going to Indy. So.
Okay, gotcha.
Go up there a lot.
Your hair looks so gorgeous. I can't help. I just keep commenting on her hair. I'm a licensed cosmetologist, so when I see beautiful hair, I'm just like, ooh, I want to play.
I have not had it cut since before COVID, and I know you're a cosmetologist. You're just going to cringe when I tell you this. But it drives me crazy.
I have something else.
I keep cutting. I put it in a ponytail. I just keep cutting. I've probably cut 10 inches off since the beginning of COVID, and I haven't had it cut by a professional. I just keep cutting it because it drives me crazy. So I'll put it in a ponytail, pull it forward, chop.
Better than nothing. Well, I'll save mine is way more cringeworthy than yours. The pandemic messed me up, and I'll tell everybody. I brush my teeth every single day, twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day, especially because of what I'm about to say. My dentist office closed down during the pandemic, and I have not found a new dentist. Well, I have an appointment coming up, but it took me this long to try to. I know he's like, what?
Your dentist lost his business.
No, the dental office closed. They didn't make it. I don't know what happened.
Oh my goodness, man!
And they didn't say, "Hey, you can go here."
Right.
And it's just so hard
to find somebody.
Thank you. And when I find somebody that I really like, because I've been to dentists, and all dentists are not created, or dental hygienists are not all created equal when it comes to cleaning your teeth.
Very
and
true.
I've gone out of places just upset, like, I still feel behind my, like they didn't do a good job. I know I had braces and everything, so I know what it's like to have clean. After you have a cleaning, I know what it's supposed to feel like.
Right.
So, anywho, Shame on me. So that's what I'm saying. Mine is more cringe worthy. Because it's like, what? Because I've always been very regular when it came to going to my 6-month checkups.
Right.
So let me ask you guys, like I said, your viewers don't know, we talked about a lot of things before. When did your plant-based journey start, and why?
Well,
One at a time. Don't all at once.
About 4 years ago, 3.5 to 4 years ago, Carole and I have been friends for a while, and we were working out at a place called Orange Theory, and our coach told us to check out a documentary called What the Health. And at this time, we were both going through some personal issues of pain, and I'm diabetic, inflammation, and all the different things that go on with age and the way the way we eat. So we checked out this documentary, and it totally blew us away. But we wanted to try. We thought we were eating clean, and again, that's we were not big meat eaters, but we still ate our fish and sometimes chicken and pastas and things of that nature. But we wanted to try this whole food plant based for basically 2 weeks, 14 days. And she and I are both cold turkey people. So we went in and we did it for 14 straight days. And the results that we saw were absolutely remarkable, to the point where we never looked back. And so with that, we turned this into a business, because we decided we wanted to take this kind of lifestyle living to the masses. And it's been an absolute wonderful journey of learning yourself and learning each other and learning people. We've got a great group of clientele that love us dearly. We love them dearly, and that's what it's all about. Is basically the love of health, the love of person and
community.
Yes, keeping people healthy, and we're loving it. So yeah, it's a wonderful journey, and we were very blessed to start this journey and start it together.
Yes. Do you have anything to add, Miss Carole?
No, that's about it. I just remember when we first started, I was going through cleaning out cupboards, because it's like, if it's not here, you can't eat it. The first time, Brian's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "It's all gotta go." It's like, it's gotta all go. And we cleaned it out, like you said, it was.
I actually just jumped back into clean eating as a plant-based person. I was eating too much processed foods. So,
Right.
and I just recently got really sick, and it was just like a wake-up call.
Oh, see?
Yeah. Not sick, like, like diagnosed with something that's nothing like diabetes or anything like something
body
that
feels it.
Yeah, well, my niece and nephew came over, and they gave me something. I said they have cooties. Kids have cooties. They were over here for almost a week for and they were at the event. You remember they were helping out at the event.
Oh, right, yeah.
They came over and gave me cooties. I love my babies. And yeah, so I ended up with acute pharyngitis and laryngitis. I ended up going to the I was sick for 2 weeks, and I'm still kind of getting rid of stuff. But yeah, I ended up having going to the emergency room the first night, because I just kept going. I don't get sick. I rarely get sick, and I didn't know what it was. So went to the emergency room, because urgent care was closed by that time, and then ended up back at the emergency room the very next day.
Oh, wow.
911 was called on that one. I have a slight allergy to bananas, to ripe bananas. And with the acute pharyngitis, I couldn't swallow anything. It was like, I thought I had strep, but they said I didn't have strep and I didn't have COVID. And then I decided the next day, I'm going to get a smoothie, because that's the only thing I feel like I can swallow. I forgot they put bananas in there, and I think they were extremely ripe, and it closed up my throat and I couldn't breathe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So just all of that and just trying to get better. It was a wake-up call. Go back to plant-based, go back to whole foods. No more, beyond this, beyond that. I was eating I was just trying to make it easy, or I thought I was, but so that whole
who you should have called.
So that whole, you can be vegan or plant-based, but still be a junk food eater.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right.
And then I lost like almost 10 pounds once I did that.
Very good.
Isn't it crazy? Yeah. It just like happens. You don't even try it. We always say we lost weight by accident.
I gain fast and I lose fast. So,
good.
But then of course you start to plateau once you get a little bit closer and all that. So yeah.
Right.
But anyway, this is your interview. I was just saying that. I know you guys are. You've built your business off of whole foods eating, which is somewhat rare in our community because
it's definitely community. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I love all of the places that I could go eat, but at the same time, it's like to have that option to say, I want something really, really wholesome, something that I know is extremely healthy, and I feel like I'm getting spoiled at the same time. So I'm trying not to jump ahead, but I had to, when I thought about, we were talking about, I know what it was, because I've been making juicing, and I thought, dang, I hate carrot cake and the way that carrot cake is normally made, and I just made the carrot, ginger, and apple, and I hate to waste. So I was like, ooh, I wish I could make my own carrot. And I was like, dang, I was like, Carole's carrot.
We can ship you some.
I don't know if it'd be the same if you ship it.
I don't know.
Well,
You've never shipped it?
I mean, we might have to do a road trip then.
We haven't. Yeah, we might.
You kind of, I'll come there because there's places that I still want to go there, and I've learned also like where I've gone wrong with my eating is that I go to one extreme or the other, and I'll binge out on sugar. So now I do one sweet a week. I'll pick a day where I'll just, I'm saying where I'll have a nice portion size sweet, so I don't feel like I'm neglecting myself. So this time,
well, you made a valid point about how our community, we grew up eating pretty much anything we ever wanted to eat. I mean, like Mr. Witherspoon said.
When you say our community, which one are you talking about? The vegan community, or me and yours?
Me and yours. Carole knows. Carole knows, because the situation of it is that, I gave up a lot, and it was tough. I when I tell the story, it wasn't just one of those things where I didn't think about going back into my barbecue and my mac and cheese and all those things, but I know especially now at 60 years old, I want to have longevity, and longevity is about now based off the grandkids of watching them grow up and living a pain-free life that allows me the freedom to move about the cabin. Before I got on this, I mean, I literally couldn't even walk a flight of steps, and I was in my 50s, and I really just kind of brushed it off to say, well, I'm gonna live like this until I die. Don't know when that'll be, but I don't think I'll make it to 60. I don't think I'll make it. I didn't think I was gonna make it this
Wow,
far.
you felt like that at one point?
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That is a God truth. I did not think I was gonna make it because the pain was that unbearable. And so as I just walked with the pain, I would do things a little different. So instead of having barbecue every day, I have barbecue once or twice a week. And if you notice, you start to back off things because I started feeling bad. I mean, after I'd eat something, my stomach would be hurting, and your joints would be hurting, and what's going on. But then I noticed that my portions were so big that I started backing off my portions. So instead of eating a huge chicken, I just ate maybe a couple legs or what have you. just so I could ease off the pain. But when we started eating this way, it's so odd because I saw where my lifestyle started to change as letting go of meat, letting go of dairy in a short term, in a short way. But today it really took me approximately the length of where we're now to finally say, you know what, I'm done. Because don't get it twisted. We have, her son is an absolute master griller, and
with the meat, you mean?
oh man, you talking about some falling off the bone mackerel.
It's a 3-day process for him to do his ribs.
Yeah. I mean, he marinates and it's just one.
It's like,
smokes and
I never ate ribs like that. I always thought it's kind of like crab to me. It's like, if I gotta fight this hard for just a little bit of food, it's not worth it for me.
I see. One of my friends has one of the top barbecue places here in the city. So oh man, that dude has catered many of my parties.
But it's not, it's not just our community. It's especially in the Midwest. In the Midwest, black, white.
We are burger
wherever,
here.
and barbecue and
beef, pork.
Yeah.
If you can grill it, you can eat it.
Right. And what's those places? I don't want to mention any names, but places like I want to say smorgasbord. That's such an old school word.
Like a buffet.
But buffets.
Buffet.
Yeah, buffets. But places like that. In the Midwest or the Bible Belt, as they call it, everybody, within this area kind of falls prey to horrible eating. But I will say, to your point, when it comes to us, in the Black community, a lot of times we go plant-based because of our health over the other way, the animals.
True.
But then but what I'm seeing, the more I talk to people, is that at the end of the day, we all start to have this appreciation for, not killing animals and not, cruelty free and, and being more conscious of, like, now I'm more conscious of making sure that I don't buy leather, different things like that. So it's just it's like, it doesn't matter where you start or how you start or why you started. If we're all going in the same direction and we have the same benefit and the animals are benefiting also, we're all winning.
Right.
We don't have to. I just get tired of all the infighting, and I'm glad people are talking about it more. The infighting with the vegan / plant-based community. Right. Everybody, why you're not really vegan if, or blah 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 blah. You need to call yourself this. It's not about the labels, honestly.
It really isn't. It really isn't. We have our own label, and it's called pureatarian.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, because we don't identify particularly with just one group. We identify with them all.
I love that.
Pardon my tale.
Cats do what they want to do, I swear.
So when we coined the phrase pureatarian, it's all about the. This is really.
That's rude. That I told you, they're just obnoxious. They're like
so rude.
Attention.
She is.
Cats are.
That's my little girl. She's really.
And the girls are one. I have a granddaughter cat.
Yeah, she's spoiled. Look, she's coming over here.
Hi. That's what they do. It's like, who's that?
She's spoiled, man. But when we were even discussing what to call ourselves, we were calling ourselves vegan because that's what everybody else called us. But I remember us sitting down one day and I said, you know what, we're different because we do it completely different than everybody. I mean, we take a little bit of vegan, we take a little bit of vegetarian, we take a little bit of whole food plant-based. Now we're more whole food plant-based, but the bottom line is, Carole has just devised a lot of beautiful food and makes it without the ingredients that people think you have to have.
And you guys don't do oil or sugar or oil.
No.
I just thought about that.
No.
I just thought about it.
Yeah, no refined products. So no refined sugars, like bleached products. So our sugars would be like agave, organic agave, or 100% maple syrup, or dates. That's pretty
Yeah,
much
because
what
I'm
we
not
use.
gonna lie. The first time when I had that sandwich, I was like, "There's something missing. It's good, but it's just some." My palate was not ready for the whole. No, like I said, I was eating horribly. So
Oh,
when you're eating horribly and you eat something really pure like that, you're like,
Your
"Where's the
taste buds take a
oil?"
minute to, yeah, your taste buds take a minute to adjust. And then
But
once
it
they
was really
adjust,
good.
it's like everything tastes so good once they adjust, and you get rid of like, it's like that coating on your tongue, all the hyper fat, hyper sugar, hyper salt.
But because I was such a sugar addict, that carrot cake, boy, I was like,
And
but
it's not
everything
as
was
sweet
right.
as
but you
some
know
people
what?
would want.
Really?
You know what was great? Yeah, you know what was great about that carrot cake you ate? There was no sugar.
I know, it's just dates and
Yeah,
I tasted. I could remember when I named all the spices.
yeah,
He
That's
did.
how good my palate is when it
Yeah.
comes to
yeah.
spices. But you could taste every spice. For me, it just popped. And like for instance, even though I'm a sweets person, I'm more savory than I am. Like I won't
Mm.
reach for like a lollipop or
Right.
like Swedish fish or like. And like my daughter told me, I remember because I had never at some point I had never had macaroons, and she said, "Mom, you're not gonna like those." And I said, "Why?" She said, "Because they're really really sweet," and she knows that I don't like really really sweet. So for me, that carrot cake was, when I say perfecto, and the texture, because I think I've never had carrot cake like that. And I was like, I wish every carrot, and carrot cake is really good to me. I just don't like all those different textures of the
Right.
regular carrot cake. I remember your face when you were like, you said, "I have carrot cake." I was like,
Yeah, he did.
You were like, "No, it's not like mine. You have never had anything like mine." I said, "Okay, let's see." And I was pleasantly surprised. And I'm
And
like, I just hate talking to you guys right now without
you
it, to
you
be quite
ready?
honest. I'm like
You
literally
ready to
like,
know something? I still don't like carrot cake. And I just don't now. Carole, be honest. Carole. There's
you don't like hers?
I just it's that
You just don't like carrot cake.
yes. It's all. It's not
Period.
ever been. Yeah, I just don't like it. Period. But
Okay.
everybody that eats it, I have yet to find one person from child
To adult.
grown up that does not love her carrot cake, and I just can't. I mean, now the one thing I have had on her carrot cake is that icing,
The
and
caramel
it's
icing.
that caramel icing.
When I say every, I was like, how did she come up with this? This whole podcast gonna be about her damn carrot cake.
We know our 4-year-old grandson cries. I mean, literally one day cried because I was like, "You can't have any more carrot cake. You really need to eat some food." But his mom had sent over some like taquitos or something for him, and I'm like, "The carrot cake's actually healthier than the taquitos, right?" And he's going around the house going, "Cake, cake, cake."
It's like,
And my
okay,
daughter,
maybe I'll go ahead and give him some cake other than those
right? And my
taquitos that has
daughter-in-law
all those
was like,
ingredients in it.
right. My daughter-in-law was like, "He cried over cake with carrots in it." I said, "Yes, every time he comes over, he wants blueberry muffins, carrot cake, and chocolate cake
It's so
from
good.
ours, like not, from the store. He wants
And it's
ours."
so, guys, listen, it's so moist.
Isn't it?
And it's, you say it and then you don't even like it. No, I'm joking.
No,
But
no.
it is. No, it,
Amazing. Because I know what she's gone through to get all of
mm,
that. Again, the painstaking attempts that she went through, because she's not a baker. This is
I'm not
another
a
thing.
baker
She doesn't even
either.
bake, and she has found the perfect ingredients for these
Mm-hmm.
cakes and muffins that these children and grown-ups will. That is the first thing that sells out whenever we're at wherever
Oh,
we're at
okay.
function.
So it's not just me that's
No, it's not.
crazy over 'em. Okay.
Remember,
That makes me feel better because I was like, am
no,
I
it's
a fiend?
man, and people get mad if they don't get there for it. We've had people tell us, y'all need to have more. We're like, we had a lot. Just didn't get
Just didn't
here.
get here in
How much
time.
do you sell it for a slice? Or do you sell it by slice? How do you sell it?
Yeah, we said,
I sell it usually at the market. We do like a large, like one of those jumbo muffins. We do it that size, and it's $5.
yep,
You could probably get away with
yep.
Yeah,
I
people
know.
love it.
I used to tell my dad all the time. He had a popular little business around the city. And he sold popcorn and cookies.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, you
I
talked
told you about
that.
that.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
and my dad was so afraid to raise his prices. I said, Dad, they're like, excuse me for anybody that has used to have a drug this is just a phrase. Please don't be offended. I'm sorry. But I was like, people are literally crackheads over your stuff. If you raise your prices, they're still going to buy it.
I tell her all the time, it's like
I'm
crack.
like,
Women
you can
clamor
sell it for
hey,
$7.
yes. No, I use that term all the time. It's like crack because
Well, it depends on how big it is. You said it's a big muffin.
It's a good size. Yeah, it's good size. And in
if
all
I saw
honesty,
it, I would like raise your price.
we haven't raised prices for a while, and we have to go back and revisit all that because everything, we were kind of immune from the price raising for a while because it was meat and cheese and all that, and now everything.
I was just gonna say, we're not
it's-
exempt either.
Now it has went up. We got a watermelon the other day, and it was $8.99 because we won't eat seedless watermelon. We only eat seeded watermelon, and it's more expensive than the seedless. And it was $9 for a watermelon. And we bought it because we wanted some watermelon, but $9 for a watermelon? It's crazy.
Wow. So I think we kind of covered this a little bit, but how did you start cooking for others?
Well,
where'd Bryan go? He left us.
Probably the cat. Probably. We, as we started getting more deeper and deeper, because when we first started, the first 2 weeks, we still did like a little oil or whatever. So the more we did, the more we, watched this documentary and studied this thing, we cut all the rest of the stuff out. We couldn't go out and eat anywhere. Hardly. And when we did, we would feel it, even if we were, being really, like you can't get away from the oil. And so we thought, well, if we're having that issue, obviously there are other people having that issue. And we just started like, okay, we're going to do this for others because there's other people having problems finding food. And you don't, even if you're the best cook in the world, like you don't always want to cook for yourself. So we started, doing some meal delivery, and then we got invited. We had put in applications for a couple of local farmers markets, and they were both full at Fisher's where we live, and then next door to us is Carmel, and they were both full. But then we got a call from the Carmel one, and they wanted us to come out, and they will kind of basically an audition. They're going to take jury your food, but they wanted our jams because their jam lady had retired. So we went
jams.
We do jams and relishes and pickles and have some.
Why did she bring it? Oh, hold on, wait.
I love it.
What? I forgot about those.
Yep.
Oh, you love the pickles. That's right.
I love pickles anyway.
Yep.
But
she just made
we have a hard time keeping the pickles on the shelf.
I'm gonna have to visit. Like,
come on.
Very, very, very. What's today?
Today is
Tuesday.
Come on. You're welcome.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about those daggone pickles.
No, okay, go ahead. Sorry. No, that's okay.
Sorry. You don't give her a flashback.
Oh, it was a flashback because I don't know how not forgot about them, but it was like as soon as I was like, oh,
you've eaten a lot of food since then, so it's not like
but
and been a lot.
When
I
tell you, I savored those pickles, Carole.
Well, I make a relish now like that also, and we cannot keep the relish off because we do what's called we do we do a pickle relish also, and the jalapeno relish, like you said. But we make what's called a knot dog, and it's a carrot dog.
A knot dog. Okay.
We have knot dogs and knot brats, and we do it. I brine the carrot for like 40 or 24 hours, and we do those at our festivals. And then we have the relish, our house-made relish that goes on top of them.
So the relish tastes like the pickles?
Mm-hmm. Jesus. I have a sweet relish, and I have a spicy.
I like the spicy
relish. And then we have one that's really big seller at the market is a jalapeno relish, which is jalapenos, apples.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to come because I've been making a lot of veggie sandwiches with my Ezekiel bread. Oh. So I know that pickle relish will go so.
We'll have you a care package when you get here.
I swear, I'm not joking. I'm coming because it's time. I'm like, it's been a year now.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
literally,
I
literally.
think it's about literally a
Yeah.
year since I've been there to get. Oh my God. Okay.
I love it.
Okay. I forgot. No. It took. I literally, when I say I savored those pickles, it probably took me about a month because I would. And you didn't give me a lot, but they're so flavorful that I could take one pickle and like just I savored each pickle like every day for like, and then I wouldn't eat it every day. I was just
You are
like, I
so
just want
crazy.
it in there. It was like a little, it was like in a
Oh, yeah,
little.
Hollis will send you those.
Right.
You got the number. You know how to find
We
us.
I
can.
just I ain't gonna say I forgot, but I forgot. You know,
That happens.
it's just so many, there's so much good food out here. It really is, and between the carrot cake and those pickles, and it's like literally like I get two different spectrums from you guys. So I get spicy and sweet, and those two are just like I'm saying, like those are my kryptonites
And
in
those are
life.
actually two things that we cannot keep on the shelf.
Okay.
Can't keep them on the shelf. And I love it because I love to see the happiness of people loving what she's doing, what we're doing, but more importantly, we're realizing that they're falling in love with health because that's stuff they can eat all day long and then not bother them. Now, again, you can't
Yes.
eat carrot cake all day long, but you can at least, we know when you're getting some sweets that are really great for your health, great for your body, and again, as everything, you want to eat in moderation, but again, we know that you're getting the best, not
Yes.
something refined, not anything bleached or processed. You're getting the whole food, the real food, and nothing but the food.
Makes me wish my dad was still alive. He would love that carrot cake. Oh gosh. He's a zucchini. He was a baker.
Okay.
And he baked zucchini bread, and
I
everybody
Oh,
like
love,
man.
fell over his
Love
I
zucchini
zucchini
love,
bread.
bread. So I wish I could see it. You think my reaction is funny? Yeah, I wish you could have saw my dad's reaction. He would have. Oh my god! I'm telling you, he would probably have done a backflip over
I love,
your So yeah. Well, gosh, I talked about that already. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for signing up to be you're our first affiliates. We have a lot of great
Yay.
things coming out. So Pure Eating Way, they're our first Mo affiliate business. And so they have agreed to give our future members, because we're going to start heavily inviting
yep.
our future members at least 10% when you go and visit their establishment, or if they're at if they're at a farmer's market as well, or wherever
Mm-hmm.
they are. Where are you located? Are you still in the kitchen?
Absolutely.
No.
Actually, no.
Oh,
The kitchen
Actually,
was
different.
the kitchen was shut down, unfortunately, based on he lost his business based on pandemic. So we shut that one down, but we got another one coming. Don't
wait a
fret.
minute. Based on the pandemic.
Yeah, he was having issues when we were there.
Oh, so it was like a trickle down effect. I'm
Yes,
like,
Yeah.
yes,
yeah, we did all our
It
stuff
just
after the
never
pandemic.
just never bounced back after
yeah.
the
Yeah, because
pandemic. It just never bounced back.
that's the crazy part. It's like literally with some businesses, it was like a domino.
Mm-hmm.
It was like,
Mm-hmm.
people were
Mm-hmm.
fighting for dear life. And it's like you think they're gonna make it. And then all of a sudden it's like boom, they're gone.
And he
Like a
was.
lot of these restaurants are shutting down because I think, there a lot of people, a lot of businesses, even the large ones like Burger King, shutting down. Sorry, Burger
Mm-hmm.
King. But I'm assuming that it's because of the employees. There's
Well,
employee shortages.
he had the
Mm-hmm.
biggest thing he was dealing with was lack because he was the place he had started out as a cooking school, so that shut down everything. So he was bringing people in like us he also had another little restaurant kind of thing working out of there. He was trying to bring it back up, but it just, I mean, he'd just gotten too far into debt. So
Aw.
we lost that spot, and ours was a trial at
Mm-hmm.
best, because we were looking at other places around Fishers, Carmel, Indianapolis area, and
Mhm.
so that was a trial for us to see if our food would be well taken, and especially after pandemic and this whole food, and we had to test the market, and it went well. So we've been blessed to have gotten introduced to some people right now, and we're working on some negotiations about possibly having another cafe here very soon. So we'll keep you in the loop and let you know
for
when we
sure.
pop up again. So
yes. So are you mainly focused on like doing events?
yes, we start.
Now?
We're still doing our food delivery service, which picked up. But our market starts next weekend, so we're getting prepared for that. Where she's in the kitchen canning, I'm in the office building brochures and all kind of stuff. So we're getting the final touches put on that, and then like I said, we're currently in negotiations right now, getting a possible cafe, and then we've also met some people out of a place called Community Sports and Wellness, and they're probably going to include us in their tournament. They do like pickleball and tennis and ball, baseball. So like I said, everything right now is being put in negotiations and seeing what we can do. And it sounds right now, everything sounds really, really well. So like I said, we'll keep you posted and
Okay.
how things kick off. So things have been going really, really great for us. We were a little sad that we lost our cafe, our little bitty cafe, but you know how
Oh,
God
that's
does.
so
When
cute.
he closes one door, he opens up another. So.
I was just about to say, I was just talking to my daughter about that. She was like, Mom, I'm not getting very many hours. And I said, well, you already know what that means.
Yep.
And she was just on Snowfall. This was her second time on Snowfall.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
You stopped laughing like, wait a minute. What'd she say? Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, she was on Snowfall. And the first time she was on it, she was just like an extra in the background, but this time she actually got some visibility.
Oh, wow.
So that's what I mean. That's why I said, so when, like you said, when one door closes, another one opens. And she just had a shoot that she made the most money she's ever made at a photo shoot, and
awesome.
Stuff is starting to happen, and that's just how it goes. And that's what you have to believe. Like,
stay faithful.
You have to stay faithful, and you're going to get bigger and better with your next location.
You can't keep looking behind you and like, oh, that door was shut. You got to look forward to see which door is open next. And we've got quite a bit coming up.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because that was going to be my next question. Or what can you talk about? Shall I say? Because I know some things you probably shouldn't expose or talk about early.
Again, you're right, and I thank you for that. We can't really say yet because we are in negotiations and we are faith built. So we don't, we're not putting the cart before the horse. We're just saying, hey, we're gonna let God do what He do, and we're gonna just ride it on out, because right now, yeah, we're feeling great. We feel good about things. We like I said, we just know we kind of have that feeling that, man, this is going to be really, really good when it takes off. Not if it takes off, when it takes off.
It's going to.
So again, hopefully we will have hopefully within the next really like 3 to 4 weeks, we'll have some really, really great news for you, and say, hey, guess what?
I'm in the middle of things too, and I swear, when I say, I think for me, I'm learning just everything in due time, and you don't have to rush anything. And I'm learning all of that now. I mean, I have to I've known that forever, but sometimes you still have to remind yourself of that.
Yeah.
Sure do. Yeah.
Yes.
We sometimes sit here, we'll be in one of our meetings, and we start, talking about stuff and oh man, I wish we could get, oh man, I wish, and like, ooh. So we both probably within the last year or so have learned a lot of patience because we're both anxious. We're both very anxious.
It's literally like having kids again.
It is.
Seriously, because I say that because kids, when you're raising up children, they teach you patience in ways that you never thought you could learn patience.
Mhm.
You don't have a choice. I mean, you do
Right.
have a choice, but yeah, so this is like for me, this is my baby. This is my new baby.
And you taking care of it. You got to nurture it. You got to take care of. You got to
That sounds like a
show.
song. What song is that?
Which one?
You gotta nurture it. You gotta
That
take
don't
care
do
of it.
that, girl. You know what I
Oh,
listen.
okay. I'm like, wait a minute. What song is that? That's
I
some
thought
lyrics.
about you just yesterday because you know what I was listening to. So,
Also,
DC. That's all I'm gonna tell you. DC.
tell me, do you know? Okay, that one. Do you know what time it
DC.
is?
Look here. Look here.
Also, you said you were from Indianapolis, but you lived in the DC area for some time. You
Well,
said
no,
that.
that's where my daughter lives right now. So I have people
Okay.
in the DC area. But when I was growing up, I was in DC all the time, 3 times a year. And
He got in trouble.
nah, I didn't. I stayed out of
Oh,
trouble.
okay. I'm
What
like, you got in trouble. I could tell out of you. Like, I
No,
stayed
no,
in DC.
I wasn't that kind of kid. I just, but what I loved was the culture there. I
Oh
love that
gosh,
DC
so
culture.
much culture.
I got bit by the DC culture because I love my family up there. But again, I had one of my dearest friends who lived next door to my grandparents, great grandparents, Jarvis. He introduced me to so much stuff, and he introduced me to the music and the food and the language and all of that. And I got so smoked into it. And when I come home with all this new, fabulous stuff, people they were like, man, what's wrong? They looked at me like I was an alien.
Yeah.
But no, I get, when I can get back up to DC, I do. And like I said, it's really one of the most beautiful states. I was going to say country, but it's a beautiful place up there. And back when I was growing up, it was the original chocolate city. So
Yeah, I didn't live there around that. Yeah, I kind of did. From moved there in 2000 and left in 2012.
oh yeah, you missed the chocolate city. Chocolate
I
city
lived there in the
Kinda.
80s.
back
You
in the
lived there too?
I was in the
67.
military. Yeah.
Look, she
Were
looked
you?
I lived there from
Where were
86
you?
to
Fort?
89.
Which?
I was at Fort Belvoir,
Okay.
but we lived in Alexandria.
Yeah, I swear, once you cross over that water,
Mhm.
something about the
Yeah.
whole thing, it looks greener over there. I'm not even gonna lie.
We
It does.
would take the
It
bus.
really does. It
The first
does.
time I ever rode on the subway.
Really? It's something
Mm-hmm.
about when you cross from the from Maryland to Nova, as we call it, Northern
Mhm.
Virginia.
Northern
It's just
Virginia.
like, oh my God, look at all the trees and it's so pretty. Not that Maryland doesn't have trees because it's pretty there too, but it gets a lot greener in Virginia, in Northern Virginia. I didn't know
Yeah,
you
I
were in the
loved it.
military, Carole.
I was in the Army.
What? See, something we never talked about. So what did you do? 4 years, 6 years?
When I signed in for my job, it was a 3 year. So I did 3 years active and 3 years reserve.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you should be getting a little bit of a kickback. My aunt was in the reserves for like 20 years.
Yeah, she retired then.
That's a career right there.
Yeah, my son's
Well,
got
reserves.
5 years left in the reserves to retire.
Yeah. She didn't do active duty, but yeah, I don't think she ever
Still
did.
doing stuff though.
Yeah. I don't think she ever did, but but I don't miss the traffic. I'm
Oh,
older now.
yeah.
Traffic is
I'm
bad.
over it. I'm over it. And I'm over the cost of living too. So I'm okay here. I'm from Ohio. I'm from Dayton, born and raised. And I came back. I don't know. Something about Dayton just sucks you back in. I don't know what it is, but I'm older now. So it's like, you start to, when you've lived somewhere else, you start to appreciate all the things about home that is really good, especially when you've paid. Like my mother's house, her mortgage is $300 less than what it was in my apartment back then. I'm saying now.
Right.
What I was paying back in 2006, she's paying $300 less per month
Crazy,
for her
isn't it?
2,600 square foot house than I was for my apartment. So I'm just like,
that's nuts.
it's about, I guess, inflation and where you are and where,
I think it's still kind of sketchy because a friend of mine who just left, he just lost his father, and he was in town. He lives in Oakland now, and that's insane.
Oakland is insane.
The house he has in Oakland, he could buy here for little or nothing, and he's paying.
Oh yeah, because my aunt lives in Oakland, and she's been there for over 30 years, and I'm not gonna tell you how much but
it's crazy.
She said her house was in the 200s when she bought it. Now it's worth over $1 million.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's a little 3-bedroom bungalow with no basement, no upstairs.
His is 700. So imagine that.
Lord.
His is 700. And like I said, here he'd probably pay in low twos. Same house.
You just go, I don't know, but the Bay Area, that is one place that I would want to go live because of the weather. I think the weather's perfect there, except for the earthquakes. But other than that,
yeah, they get a lot of shaking going on up there.
I'm like, that's okay. Sacramento's nice too. My cousin lives there. I have a cousin that lives there. But yeah, so you already answered what's coming up next for you. So where are you guys regularly as far as, do you do anything like where's your regular schedule as far as like where you are through the week?
Currently, we took the winter off this year. We usually do a winter market. And so we took it off so that we could, because our last 3 years, we hammered this. We were up day after day, hour after hour, festival after festival. And last summer, we pooped out. I mean, I looked at her and she was looking tired. She looked at me. I was looking tired. And we had the winter market coming up. And I looked at her and I said, I don't think I can do it. And she said the same thing. She's like, I'm with you. So we took the winter market off and basically spent the winter revamping and revitalizing, and it did really great because we're coming out with a bang on this one. Once we show you the new brochures and the new look of our labels, and you're gonna be like, okay, now we're
but talking. That's how you have to do. You gotta scale back and rest.
Yes.
To come back.
And this woman, she was working hard because she was, here's a person who cooked for many years with all the oils and the and the sugars and all this, and now she's revamping her recipes.
Oh,
and shoot. I mean, it was driving her crazy because she wasn't getting exactly what she wanted. And so as I saw her breakthrough from a standpoint of getting rest and not putting so much on herself, I was like, man, it was the best decision to make, was to take that winter off and let her get in. I call the kitchen the lab. Let her get in the lab and put some stuff together. And let me tell you something, to see the joy in her face and her movements, like, look what I got it. And that's what I kept hearing. And so now some things that you had last time might be better this time. So I want you to be prepared, because that carrot cake ain't the same. It's good, but it might be gooder. So
I'll
I just
be the
want
judge of that.
Yeah. So we've got our first event will be our market, and then we were just going over the event schedule yesterday, and we've got one event coming in May, and then of course June and July we'll get the calendar out so people can see where we'll be, and it's gonna be pretty good summer. We will definitely need to.
For you guys. I'm excited for you. I'm glad that you obeyed your body and your mental space. That is so important, because there's so many of us that do burnout, or we have burnout because we don't listen to ourselves and our, and then sometimes I know that our financial situations, we feel like we can't listen to ourselves. It's like, oh my God, if I don't keep going,
exactly,
what am I going to do? And how am I going to make a living?
exactly.
You know?
That
So
money,
sometimes I know it's hard.
yeah, that money tug on you pretty heavy. But one of the things that we are blessed to have is an extension that allows us to do certain things and to hone and to hone ourselves. So thank you for saying it. You're glad that we listened, because that's the whole process about when you're going through that walk with Christ. You got to listen. It's not about telling him what you want. It's about listening to him to tell you where you're going and what you got to do to get there, and the journey and the actual street you got to walk on, because sometimes that street might be a little bumpy, it might be a little dark, but remember, he's got you. So we haven't done it without scare, but we did it. I'm proud of her. I'm proud of what she's accomplished and what she's doing for our business, for her health, and we're gonna stay strong. We're also lifestyle coaches, so we have to live the life that we live. So we have to live it, so we can tell people that have questions like, how did you do it, and why can't I do it, and where can I go, and what kind. So we got to tell them, hey, don't be afraid to stumble, because
So is that another business that you both do?
It's within our business. We
okay.
We do a 14-day challenge. So we allow people to take that challenge to change their lifestyle, but we don't do it. They don't do it alone. We're right there with you. We coach you you got access to us every day for 14 days. Carole cooks your meals for 14 days. And then you can call us and and scream and bite, and because we get people who are like, oh, I'm sorry, I ate a fry. I'm like, well, it's okay.
Oh God. Oh no.
Well, we've developed a journal when we started doing the 14-day challenge, so people can monitor themselves and kind of see their progress. And it's not about like weighing yourself, because we don't look at this as has anything to do with weight loss. It's just about your overall general mental, physical, and spiritual health. So we developed a journal that goes along with it, and it's got different guidelines and a few recipes. And then so we would meet with you like on the very first day, and we'll take some measurements, but we'll also take like what's in your head. We talk about like what are your 3 top goals. And if it's weight loss, great, but it's not always weight loss. Like for us, it was all the pain, and I had headaches and high blood, all the stuff.
I have diverticulitis.
And so those are the things that we like, what are your top 3 goals? And so we do take measurements, but we also track like what are your sleeping habits. So you have a journal for all that. You track your sleeping habits, your mental status, and then we check in with you. Like he said, you have contact with us every day if you want, but we have a physical face-to-face, like on day 7, then again on day 14, to kind of check all these metrics. And if you're keeping track of all that, then you can measure where I was 14 days ago and where am I in today. Like, oh wow, now I'm sleeping 7 hours a night and not 3 hours a night. And so that progress really helps people, because we don't always notice those small things, like, oh, my knee was hurting last week and now my knee's not hurting today. Well, we might not remember that, and if you don't write it down. And so to see, people, like you said, people get discouraged, but if you can go back and look and go, oh, I just walked up the steps without having to stop because I was in pain. Well, now something's working.
Yes.
And so we developed the whole thing with, like I said, there's a process that goes along with it, along with the food, and along with how to shop and what your pantry should look like and how to transition, because if you're not cooking with oil or whatever, it's a change. And it can be difficult, but we're not real stringent. It's just you got to do what's for you when we meet people where they are, because it's more welcoming that way.
So that you said for 14 days. So basically you do the food prep for these customers?
Yes, ma'am.
How many meals per day do
3.
they get?
So it's 3 meals and a snack.
And a snack. A snack. What kind of snack?
Oh, they might be like chips and salsa. It might be our stuffed dates. Like we'll do
Oh yeah, that's
dates
right. I had
that
chips and
have
salsa with
like
Yes,
you.
she did.
So it's like it's fun food. It's
Hmm.
not
yeah.
boring.
No, no, no.
Not at
Like
all.
one of the favorites of people right now, and I just started doing this, is dates, and then I'll stuff it with like almond butter or sunflower butter,
I
and
just
then
had
put
almond butter
an
with my
almond
apples.
in it.
Mm.
Put an almond in it, and then use 100% chocolate I melt, and then put it over it. So and like a little teeny touch of salt on top. So it's kind of like one of the ladies called it
It
almond joy.
it's crack. I'm just
All
It's
she
letting
so
you
said,
good,
know.
I
and there's
told.
no
It's
sugar. You know,
crack.
it's
I
no sugar, but you get
know.
that sweetness because you know I get a sweet cravings also, and you get that sweetness, and 2 or 3 of those gives you enough.
So say it
And then
again. A
so
date.
it's a date med jewel dates.
I have those.
Okay, and so you know just take the pit out, put some
Mm-hmm.
almond butter in there,
I have
an
that.
al an almond, and then I use
I have that too.
Ghirardelli 100% baking chocolate. So it's
Oh, I don't have
100%.
that.
There's no oil in it or whatever. It's in the baking section. It's like $2.79 for a bar, and I will melt it in the double boiler and put like a teeny tiny bit of vanilla, a little bit of maple syrup,
She's giving away her
and then
secrets.
that's okay. And then you put that over the date and let it harden. Maybe like a little bit of coconut on top or a little sprinkle of salt because I like that
I
sweet and
like.
salty.
That's me. Mm.
And just like I use pink Himalayan salt and just a little touch, and your sweet will be that craving
Yeah,
will be
because let me tell
satisfied.
you, if I
But
eat
it's all
a
healthy.
but if I eat a date by itself, I'm just like, woo, that's a lot,
It's a lot of sweet.
So
So
you
you
don't
put
even
that
have to.
100%.
Right. So I'm saying that to say, with the date by itself, you won't well, I know I wouldn't overindulge because the date
Right.
is so sweet already. You know what I
Very
mean?
sweet. Yeah.
It's really, really,
You
really sweet to me. So
you put that 100% chocolate. That's kind of it's bitter, right? You put that with it, and it is really good.
that sounds
It's just
so
really good.
dynamite. I have everything that you said except for the chocolate. So I can go to the
And
I have
you can do it without the chocolate. I mean, it's good without the chocolate,
I
but I
love
think that
chocolate, so
chocolate
you just
helps
gave me
cut.
a reason to go get
Her
some chocolate.
There you
her
go. It cuts
her
the
sweets.
sweetness.
Her sweets are dangerous. I'm just
If
letting.
that carrot cake is dangerous,
That's what I'm telling
Bryan.
you. Her sweets are dangerous because they turn people into straight crack addicts. They will come in. We gave when she those dates. We had a meeting, and she put those out on the table, and the women were damn near fighting over
You
them.
said the women.
The women.
Why did it have to be women?
It was all women. I was
Oh,
one.
okay.
I was
I'm
one.
like, what? Men don't
Well, no,
eat
Andy
chocolate?
was
No,
there.
I'm
I'm sorry,
There
joking.
was one man.
Andy was there. Andy was there, but there was the women. The women are tearing these sweets up. The women are all these
Well,
cracking.
something's coming up for me, if you know what I mean.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
And you want that
And
sweet.
so that's why I was like, I'm gonna go get that chocolate.
There you go. And that will it'll totally satisfy it for you without feeling guilty about having, refined sugar kinds of sweets. Like every bit of thing in there, you've got protein from the almond butter, 100% chocolate is good for you.
So you put a raw almond in there? Because that's what I have. I have raw. I mean, I know I could
I
toast
do.
them up.
I don't use anything roasted. So yep, it's a raw almond.
Oh.
Because if it's roasted, then it's got the oil. So don't use any, and the almond is good fat by itself. It doesn't need the oil of being roasted.
It seems strict, but it's not. But I like nuts, period, whether it's roasted or not. And I don't if I bought them raw, it's because I want to eat them raw anyway.
Right.
And I bought raw walnuts too. Do you do anything with walnuts?
I don't because he's allergic, and I found that out the hard way.
She tried to kill me.
What happened?
I was making something like how they use walnuts for like a meat for like taco.
Oh yeah.
And I was making something like that, and gave him a little bite, and he's like,
Bryan.
my lips are kind of tingling. I was like, because he can eat almonds. He has no problem with almonds.
Well, that's
And
good.
I found out the same way with cashews that he's allergic to cashews. So we don't use peanuts, we don't use cashews, and we don't use walnuts. Look, he's like, I'm not safe.
Oh my
But
God,
we
that's
don't
silly.
use any of those three. I use almonds, and then anything else, then I'll use like raw sunflower seeds. Like when I'm making like my cheese sauces, that sort of thing. I use either blanched almonds or raw sunflower seeds because then I don't have to worry about the cashews. And it cuts down on the allergen for other people also. Like that worry is not, any kind of, because peanuts is, of course, is a big one. So I don't use any kind of peanut products whatsoever, zero. And I don't need to. I mean, there's lots of other much better.
I have a friend that I'm going to introduce to you guys. He's a good friend of mine from, I kind of call it childhood. I'm older than him. He likes to joke with me. He's like, you're older than me. He was a little kid, but I was a teenager. I was friends with his sister. Now he's my insurance agent. He has his own insurance. Yes,
he was part of.
Yeah,
he was part of the team.
So I'm not gonna say I thought he was crazy because I know a lot of people do this, but he was like, I'm gonna do the no salt, no oil, no blah blah blah. I was like, why? Like literally, I was like, is that sustainable at tea? He was like, I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna let him know about. I mean, I know he'll remember you once I mention you, but I know the last time I talked to him, he said he was doing that challenge for himself. So, and he loves to experiment and cook different things like what we were just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I also know, and I don't know if you could do this raw because you said they cook this, but a couple of my friends who are chefs, they make a carrot dog that is out of this world, but they make these chili, they call them chili car dogs, and they use the almond for the chili, almond and kidney beans.
Okay.
And a mixture of, whatever the concoction is that would make it taste like chili. Oh my goodness. Right. And they grind up the chili, but I mean, they grind up the nuts and everything, but I know that they cook that
too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't do, we're not raw. We're not 100% raw. We do a chili nut dog.
But
I
was trying to guess when I had it the first time. I was trying to guess what the chili was made out of, and I was like, "Is it this?" And he was like, "Nope." And it was like, usually I get stuff. I can get the spices, but I did not guess that it was almonds.
And the blanched almonds are really great for a lot of things.
Did you get to taste the knot brat?
No.
Okay.
She had the pulled barbecue mushroom sandwich and the nachos.
Yes. I had the nachos and what would be so good if you haven't tried it already for the pulled, what was it? What's it called?
Pulled mushroom barbecue.
Yes, the pulled mushroom. I love mushrooms anyway. The pulled mushroom barbecue, will go good on that.
What's that?
You probably already did it. The pickles.
Yeah, I do. I do put the pickles on there.
Yeah, she puts pickles on.
He's so funny because he's like, I like, I do like the salty, sweet, the crunchy, like I want all the perfect bite, right? And he's just like plain. He kind of likes it. Oh yeah, the pickles go on there very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they go
good.
I would toast the bun too a little bit, but
yeah, that would be good. Yeah.
Wait till you taste her new buns, man.
That's right. You make those too. What day is it? Let me see my calendar.
We'll see a knot in the driveway tomorrow.
So
I'm so dead serious. Like,
come on.
So I have to tell you the new funny thing we have. So we do a lot of festivals, as you know.
Yeah.
And we try to do things that are kid friendly because we do get a lot of kids that like our food. It's so funny to see kind of like this new generation. They're really, surprisingly, a lot of them are really paying attention to that sort of thing. So I wanted to do some sort of nugget because like the 11-year-old granddaughter loves, chicken nuggets, like all that. Ugh. So I took tofu and I sliced it up and I marinate it and I bread it. But I do it in the air fryer because we don't do oil. So I do like a cornbread or a cornmeal breading and then sauce because we make our own barbecue sauce, our own mustard, all that. And we call them tofuggets.
That's you gotta have to watch it with that one.
But the granddaughter's like, she goes,
everybody that says
and then she starts cracking up laughing.
Everybody that says it laughs. And
I'm like,
how can you not have fun with that food when you're eating a tofugget?
Stop it! Listen, if I tell my nephew, because he will have fun with that all day, like, can I say it? I'm like, no, don't, because I already know what you're gonna try to do. Don't. I might pop you in the mouth. Stop! Don't do that.
So Sophia was like, she said it real slowly. She goes, "Tofugget," and I was like, "Yep." I said, "You can say it. Like it's not," because my daughter cusses all the time. So, but Sophia doesn't. But she said it. She just starts cracking. She's 11. Of course, it's funny, right? She starts cracking up laughing. We're like, "It's perfect.
That is
And it's fun.
so freaking
It's
hilarious.
We make fun food, man, and that yeah, the Tofugget is our new that we're bringing that out this summer as well. So
The Tofugget.
we got
You guys are gonna kill it with that one because of the name itself. It's just
Exactly.
so that when I say
you got to taste it just because of what it sounds like. What is a Tofugget?
I'm coming either today or tomorrow or the next day because I can.
Okay.
I just looked at my schedule. Okay.
Okay.
Just letting you know.
We'll be here. We'll be waiting.
I have a couple of units and I have to make sure that, everything is covered before I can go.
Will you let us know and I will make us up some food.
Oh,
Get you
man.
some carrot cake.
How much time do you need?
We're gonna get you take
If you're coming tomorrow, I need to know tonight. If you're coming Thursday, let me know tomorrow.
I'll come Thursday. I'll give you a chance.
Okay. Because I've been working. Yeah, I'll have pickles for you, and I will have carrot cake, and you will make some food.
Plus,
I just want to say, no, I'm sorry. I feel so blessed to know these people right now.
We love you, girl. You know that, and we are blessed to know you. We are,
especially now because I feel like I can eat it without feeling guilty. That's amazing because I literally, when I say I'm doing whole foods right now, that's really all I'm doing. And this I don't feel like I'm going to be breaking anything.
Right.
You won't.
We notice. We will notice, and we kind of joke with each other. But if we kind of step out. Because people always ask us, like, can you eat this? Can you eat that? And Ryan used to tell people, and we both do now, it's like, we can eat whatever we want to eat. We just choose not to. Because that, when it's like you can't, it's kind of like the cookies on top of the cookie on the refrigerator, the 2-year-old keeps wanting to get, your mind plays tricks on you at that point. So we're like, we just choose not to. And sometimes we will, and then we will feel it, like my shoulder will start to ache, his knees will start, or feet will start to hurt. I'll get a migraine all of a sudden. And then the puffiness, like the inflammation, like immediately comes back. And so when you start eating like really good, let's say, I hate to put it that way because that's, subjective, I suppose. But if I eat oil, immediately, like my rings are too small. I'm like, within a couple of hours, the inflammation is just
thought about something.
Not good.
Ever since I started this, I really haven't been doing any oil or anything. I really and that's by just default because So I don't know if you heard me say that I have diverticulitis.
Yes, I did. Because I have one of my best friend's wives has it.
So like when I tell you, even though I was like really addicted to the processed foods, my stomach was always hurting. And I know that I'm supposed to have like on a daily basis, I'm supposed to have a lot of, plenty of leafy green, fiber rich foods. And so I've been watching this lady on YouTube named Vegan Michelle, and she makes all kinds of like, like Vegan Michelle. Yeah, she's really good at, she's like, when you eat a lot of, salads and raw this and raw that, she was like, the secret is the sauces that you make, the sauces and the dressings that you make. And I love, I'm, who doesn't like sauce? Who doesn't like dressings? And so she's like, she teaches you how to make a lot of these things and kind of like keep it as staples in the refrigerator. So whatever you make, you can kind of mix and match with some of the stuff that she shows you. So that honestly is like I haven't really had to have a lot of oil or any oil at all, and I don't miss anything.
Yeah, I think that once you kind of like make that decision, that conscious and you're intentional, it just happened. But when you start to do a lot of those things, you're not using the oil, but then if you go to use it, you'll feel it in your body for sure.
What did I have the other day? But I just said, okay, here, let me do my sweet right now so that I don't feel deprived. And I went to Whole Foods. Sorry, gosh, I keep dropping names. I went and I got one of their vegan donuts, and it's so good. But when I tell you, I felt it. Like about an hour later, I was like, freak. So that's the other thing about pulling back, is because when you start to reintroduce things, you know almost immediately what's been hurting you.
Right.
When you start adding those, if you start to add little by little those bad or not so healthy things back into your diet, you literally it'll tell you like, okay, this was one that you shouldn't have been eating. This is another one. This is, so it's that process of elimination,
And you start to get like the sniffles or that phlegm in your throat or that ache, like mine's my right shoulder immediately, because I tore a rotator cuff years ago. And so it's, it's like you have like that damage, something that might have been damaged. And that's the first. And if something like that happens to us, we'll look at each other and be like, what'd you eat? I know you ate something. What'd you eat? Because your body will let you know. And if you start paying attention to your body, which of course we don't, because since we've been little, we've been eating, whatever, drinking Kool-Aid and eating, whatever, and eating Fruit
You drink
Loops.
Kool-Aid, Carol? No,
we drank Kool-Aid with half the sugar in it, though, because my mom was not about the sugar.
Look, I don't want to go there. I'll say it offline.
Right.
I was gonna say,
Black
Black people don't do half sugar. What you talking about? We were like, that's white people Kool-Aid. No, we need all the diabetes.
Our Kool-Aid was so gross. Plus, we had 8 kids in our family. We couldn't afford all the sugar.
I'm trying to think of what was that thing that was so nasty back in the day? Crystal Light.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. That was like one of the first, sort of like diet or sugar-free Kool-Aid kind of things. Yeah.
They try to make it look so good on television too. I remember. I thought, oh, Crystal Light, I want to get some of that. It looks healthier, but it still looks like it's tasty.
It's so fresh and
yeah.
I got one test question for you, Nat.
Okay.
What's the worst thing for your body?
You sound like my dad right now. I swear, he just keeps showing up. Okay, go ahead. What'd you say?
What's the worst thing for the body that makes it sick?
Sugar.
Nope.
Oil.
Nope. One more shot.
The worst thing is it? Are we talking about a food?
Nope.
Or sleep.
Something that bad food creates.
Mucus.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Mucus, and that is what people don't understand. Is that the mucus in your body is what's killing your body.
Everything. It's the main culprit to whatever disease.
Now, one of the things we like to do with our clients is we like to tell them that, which again, everybody knows what mucus is, but when they find out how mucus is created and how mucus covers your body if they cut you open, because that's where sometimes it really changes people's mindsets to go, oh my God, yeah, that's what your body looks like when you have milk and cheese. And
so let me share this with you as a cosmetologist.
Sure.
What I learned years ago,
baby,
when I got introduced to the plant-based lifestyle back in early, like I want to say 2001, 2002, in DC. While I was living in DC, there was a lady named Dr. Sunyata Amen. And she was telling us about how she's a holistic doctor. Is that another cat?
No, that's her. That's my girl. That's my.
Oh, okay. She's a holistic doctor, but she was a trained Western medicine doctor first. And she said, we had to, work on cadavers in med school. And she said one of the things that was the most common that I noticed with, I hate this term, but African American women or Black women was that if they had a relaxer and once we cut their skull open, there was a green layer of mucus right up underneath their scalp. And with women that never had or did not have a chemical, it was clear. There was nothing. So it was a barrier of protection.
because your body's trying to fight off that bad stuff. Now it's too much. You have all this mucus that just fills your body because it's trying to, it's its defense mechanism, but we continue to put stuff on our bodies and in our bodies. It's too much for our body.
It's a defense mechanism, but still ends up
being
going
really
other
bad.
places and creating other diseases.
Yeah, because it's just, we're just filled.
So imagine having that knowledge and yet still killing yourself.
That's what's crazy. And so for me, that was the start of, oh my God, I want to do that. I want to be in this lifestyle one day. And that was way before, when it wasn't popular. These people, they had a restaurant. They were by the, the Israelites, and these people would go back and forth to Israel and come back, and they had a whole village and communities, and they would come back over here to the States and run this business. And they didn't call it vegan food back then. They just called it vegetarianism, with no dairy, no eggs, and oh my God, the food. I remember they had these pizza pockets, and they were right across the street from Howard.
Oh, wow.
It was called Everlasting Life. They had a location there, and then they ended up moving to Largo. But Largo, Maryland. And that was the early 2000s. And that was before any of this, like the reason why we're talking now. None of this quote unquote, was not commercialized at all. But I just remember going, oh my God. And they used to have like seminars and different things. And, once you find out that type of information, it's kind of hard to, you can't go back to
forget about it.
Eating the way that you know what I mean? So it was a slow transition for me. But when I say I had been slowly moving into this lifestyle since the early 2000s, like I stopped putting relaxers in my hair in 1999. Way before it was, well, but my hair is also really fine, and that's another reason why I did it, because it was just like, it doesn't make any sense, But yeah, so, well, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. We're going to wrap this up, and I cannot wait to come and visit you guys and see what you have cooked up. Huh?
We can't wait to see you. Oh man.
I'm so excited. Thank you, Bryan. Thank you, Carole.
Thank you.
Oh, before you guys leave, where can we get a hold of you? What is your website? Are you on IG? Tell us where you are.
All of them. Our website is pureeatingway.com. And you can find us the same way on Facebook, IG, and TikTok.
Awesome. All right, everybody, go follow Pure Eating Way. Make sure you get your tickets for the Mo plant-based dinner cruise coming up on June 24th. And we're just going to see you and get out of here. We've been here long enough. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
You.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.